Hello, and welcome to a Fallout 76 episode. Today is July 16th, 2019, and today, Patch 11 goes live. But before we get into the patch details, there's a special note in regards to power armor. We're currently planning to bring Patch 11 maintenance today. This update is going to contain some significant under-the-hood improvements for the power armor system, which will resolve many power armor related bugs and make for smoother experiences with power armor overall. However, as a one-time side effect of this change, some players may notice the following after maintenance concludes. Power armor pieces may have been unequipped from the power armor chassis you own and moved from your stash to your inventory or vice versa. Some players may receive an extra power armor chassis or extra power armor pieces in their inventory or stash that weren't present prior to patch 11. These are items that didn't save correctly when you originally collected them, and the power armor improvements mentioned above have restored them. If you have one or more power armor chassis in your stash before installing patch 11, we plan to move your character to a pre-existing stash location, such as a train station or the Overseer's camp, during maintenance on Tuesday. This should help players who become over-encumbered due to power armor pieces and chassis moving into their inventory transfer those items back into their stash without needing to walk home from their current location in the world. So let's get on to the actual patch notes. So patch 11 is now live, and it brings the power armor improvements I've mentioned. In addition, item descriptions get a makeover. The descriptions for legendary items, item mods, and crafting recipes now display all of their current attributes when viewing these items in menus. Finally, nuclear winter balance changes. As mentioned a few weeks ago, patch 11 addresses some of the concerns we saw being reported in regard to certain perks like frog legs. Better experiences for new players. We've made several changes to help new players ease into the challenges of the wasteland during the early hours of the game. These adjustments should make stepping out of Vault 76 a breath of fresh air, and they have returned the punch bowl, so party at your camp. There will be a new animation that plays upon entering power armor from a power armor station. Atomic Shop has some reworking on the main screen, and when purchasing repair kits, players can now select which character they'd like to receive them. In terms of camp, crafting, and workshops, bulk junk. The scrap all junk option no longer automatically scraps bulk junk at workbenches. Bulk junk will continue to be automatically scrapped for necessary components while you're crafting or repairing. And the return of the punch bowl. The 44 pistol nuclear material has been replaced by gears in the crafting requirements for all 44 pistol mods except the prime receiver. The ski sword. The crafting requirements for the skate mod have been reduced, and the makeshift warrior perk requirement has been removed. In design and gameplay, loot. Legendary items dropped as loot by a legendary enemy will now appear much quicker on that enemy's corpse. Deathclaws now have a chance to drop Deathclaw hides upon death. That's going to help a lot of people in some of the Pioneer Scout quests. Acid can now drop as loot when killing cave crickets. Respawning. Dying in an interior location such as the burrows now automatically respawns players near where they entered that location in most cases. These are good ones. Spoilage. All raw food items and fluxes now last 50% longer before spoiling, and fast traveling no longer causes food and drinks to take a condition loss. And another big one for power armor fans, stealth boys can now be used while wearing power armor. Combat. A slight blurring effect now appears on screen when taking damage to better indicate that the character is experiencing pain. Item descriptions. Additional information is now displayed in the menus for legendary items, mods, and recipes. When selecting a legendary item in trade, vending, or container menus, all of its legendary attributes now appear instead of just the first. For me, that's going to help a huge amount when dealing with large quantities of armor in each of the separate attributes. When inspecting a recipe or mod, the same thing. When selecting a recipe or mod in trade, vending, or container menus, the description for the resulting item now appears above the item stats. Instruments. Players can now rotate the game camera while playing musical instruments. Map. Improve map marker ordering and selection to help address how icons are highlighted when several markers overlap each other on the map. Purveyor. Weapon and armor model previews now appear in the Purveyor's trade menu when browsing item categories. Settings. An Enable Power Armor HUD option has been added to the display settings, which can be toggled to decide whether to display the Power Armor HUD or the standard HUD while wearing your power armor. Disabling this setting will cause the Quick Boy menu to display when viewing the Pip-Boy. And we return to gameplay improvements for new players. Before I get into this, I also want to remind people that when prestiging or becoming legendary, where we reset our characters back to 0 and start again with new and different perks, the date has not been announced yet for when this is going to happen, but these gameplay improvements for characters under level 25 are really going to help us level up our new characters that much faster. So here we go. Camp deployment. Deploying a camp shortly after deployment no longer incurs a CAPS penalty. The rewards for many early game challenges have been reworked and now award items that will help a new player survive, such as aid, weapons, and armor instead of atoms. Diseases. Players must now be level 15 or higher to receive a disease. Enemies. Some enemy difficulties have been adjusted. Just have a look here. It looks like they've reduced things in the Ash Heap, Savage Divide, and the Toxic Valley. They've all been reduced. Fertile soil now triggers in a smaller area and is confined to the Vault-Tec Agricultural Research Center. Fast travel caps cost when fast traveling have been reduced for players under level 25. Holotapes. Government supply requisition holotapes will no longer spawn in Flatwoods and cannot be looted by players who have not reached level 10 or higher. Random encounters. They've removed a random encounter that would cause a large group of level 5 Protectrons to spawn for low-level players on the road to Flatwoods. And like many of you, I've been playing a Nuclear Winter solidly for the past few weeks, and there's some balance changes. First to the perk cards. Frog Legs. Jumping in rapid succession now temporarily reduces your maximum jump height and requires a short rest to recuperate. Master perk cards. Select Master perk cards have received bonus damage reductions, including Commando Master, Heavy Gunner Master, Guerrilla Master, Rifleman Master, Shotgun Master, Demolition Expert. Dev note. In general, these perk cards were too powerful and began to feel more like required picks than options, so we've balanced them out to better reflect their cost value. Weapons. Explosive weapons greatly increase the damage that explosive weapons deal against camp objects and structures. Laser auto pistol. The laser auto pistol no longer fires multiple beams per shot. Scoped hunting rifle. Reduced the size scoped hunting rifle's magazine from 5 to 1. Dev note, this change will help the scoped gunplay of this weapon feel smoother and does not negatively affect its DPS. And that pretty much covers the major changes in patch 11. There are a considerable number of bug fixes and improvements. I'm going to put a link to that in the description below so you can read them if you're interested. A few days ago, they announced a new event. What's cooking Grahm? Do you smell smoke? It's probably just Grahm getting the grill ready. At the end of this month, you can expect a new seasonal event that will bring dwellers around Appalachia together to beat the summer heat with everyone's favorite traveling super mutant and his best pal, Charlie the Moo-Moo. And no, Charlie's not on the menu. To throw a great party, Graham's going to need a little help from his human friends, and he's hoping lots of you will make an appearance and lend a hand. Of course, you'll be handsomely rewarded if his shindig is successful. Look out for more details, including the event's start date, a little later this month. And also, Fallout 76 goes to QuakeCon 2019. QuakeCon is only 2 weeks away. What does that mean for Fallout 76? Similar to last year, we'll have a panel to discuss what plans we have for the rest of the year and beyond. You can expect to learn more specifics on Wastelanders, Nuclear Winter, our upcoming vaults, and more. If you can't make it to Dallas this year to watch our panel in person, it will be live streamed on various channels including Twitch and Mixer. And I'll also be posting coverage and any news they have coming out of QuakeCon. So thanks for watching, and see you out in the world.